Hey, you guys, it's Christina with Leads and Leverage, and I'm here today with you for another, I don't know, thought that I had, or, something that I see so many of us struggling with. And I actually was in something completely unrelated to real estate, and somebody said something, and I just went, huh, that's not true. But they believed it to be true. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that today. The number one reason that you aren't bringing in more leads, or losing weight, or growing your business, or building your marriage deeper, or I don't know, not traveling when you want to. The number one reason, we're going to talk about it, how to face it, how to overcome it, and how to stop letting it rule you. Because it is totally ruling you. Would you guys do me a favor? Comment below. What do you think the number one reason is? Before I get into this, what do you think it is that is preventing you from bringing in more real estate leads? What do you think it is that's preventing you from losing weight? What do you think it is that's preventing you from running a marathon, if that's what you desire to do? What do you think it is that's preventing you from I don't know, what are other like achievements that you want to do and stuff? I'm really curious what you guys think it is, because it is the same for every single person. I don't care if you have lots of health difficulties or you're a quadriplegic. I don't care if you're 18. It doesn't matter who we are. It doesn't matter what age we are. It doesn't matter what country we live in. It doesn't matter our backgrounds. It doesn't matter our experience or lack of experience. It doesn't matter if we're, from a third world country or a first world country. It doesn't matter. We all have different struggles surrounding it. However, we all have to deal with this. Lynn says consistency and focus. Dave says mindset. All of these, what you just said, those three things that you guys just said, they're all related to this. They are all driven by this. It's kind of interesting. So here's what I am following. If you're interested, I am following the Broken Brain documentary. It is put together by Dr. Mark Hyman, and it's talking about they're releasing a new episode. It's 8 episodes every single day. You get 24 hours to watch them. I'm not actually watching all of them, but I understand. Okay. When I say I understand the science behind it, I mean that I've been reading about this a lot, reading the science, reading the doctors, the layman's versions of these guys. I am not a medical professional, nor am I a scientist, but I've been reading about this stuff. And it's really interesting because they're talking about reversing and curing dementia and any cognitive things, etc. And there are actual cures for it that do not involve drugs. Absolutely. You can prevent dementia. You can prevent Alzheimer's without drugs. And they're proving this. They have proven this, and now they're releasing all of this to the public in a way. And I think their focus is really a lot to get the people like us to actually question our doctors, because our doctors, they're taught how to give you pills. They're taught how to heal something that's already broken. They're not taught how to help you not become broken. And so that's a whole nother conversation, but here's the thing. Somebody in one of the comments said the phrase, now they were talking about how sugar is the number one reason, all forms of sugar. An orange is sugar. All forms of sugar, grain, sugar, starches, all react like sugar in your body. How sugar is the number one reason, or the number one fuel for cognitive degenerative diseases. In other words, you're dumber if you eat sugar. That is exactly the phrase, almost the exact quote that I read. And somebody in the comments said, I just can't give up sugar. And I replied, I was like, yes, you can. You just don't really believe that you should or need to. You haven't convinced yourself that it's important, and you aren't holding contrary thoughts captive. So here's the thing. Here's what it is. The number one reason you aren't bringing in more leads, how to face it, overcome it, and stop letting it rule you. You're lying to yourself. We're lying to ourselves. And we lie to ourselves. I just can't do this. Or to get into another topic that I want to do, I tried this. There actually is not, I'm going to actually talk about this in another day or two, but it's true. There is no try. You either do it or you don't. There's no try. But you're lying to yourself. And of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. What do we fear? We don't think we fear by lying to ourselves. Like, I just can't give up sugar. That's the phrase that I'm using, or the quote that I'm using, the person that stimulated this for me. What is that? What are you saying that you can't do? What are you saying that you can't do? Because whatever you're saying you can't do, you're lying to yourself. Do you know why I know for a fact that you're lying to yourself? Why I know for a fact that I lie to myself? Because I see other people do it. Other people are doing things that I say I can't do. Other people are doing things that you say you can't do. Other people are doing things with more handicaps, if you will, whether that's they're from a third world country versus a first world country. They're from a poor background or a rich background. They're from a horrid type of background or a really loving and helpful background. Or it doesn't matter. They have a low IQ or they have a high IQ. There are people doing what you say you can't do with way worse reasons to do it than you do. So here's the key. You have to face your lies and you have to hold them captive. You have to tell, excuse me, guys, you have to stop lying to yourself. You really, really do. Because lying to ourselves is more deeply ingrained than lying to others. We lie to ourselves all the time. And I see it all the time. The more I come out of how I used to eat, the more I don't eat like the culture, like I don't eat like the culture, the more I see everyone around me lying. I just have to have this cookie. No, you don't. You're lying to yourself. I just can't give up cookies, or I just can't do this, or I have to have that, or I can't do that. Stop lying to yourself. You're really lying to yourself. And I come out of it going, oh my gosh, how long did I lie to myself about it? And then every once in a while, a thought will pop up. And I'll be like, whoa, wait a minute. That's a lie. That is not truth. Why is it in my brain? And that's what I mean when I say hold it captive. When you find yourself lying to yourself, because you're going to notice when you really bring this up and within you and you want to be aware of it and you want to eliminate those, number one, you're going to notice that you do it a whole stinking lot. Oh my gosh, it's all the time, everywhere. And once you think you've mastered it in whatever realm you've mastered it in, you're going to see it in a whole nother realm. You're going to see it in a whole nother thing like, dang it, I thought I mastered that. I thought I got over that. Also, once you see it in one area of your life, you're going to see it transfer to all different areas of your life. Oh my gosh, that's what that looks like. Oh my goodness. It's so much, we lie to ourselves about our reactions, about our moods. Well, I'm in a bad mood because of this. No, you're not. You're choosing to be in a bad mood. That's just something that happened. Your reaction to it is where you have control. You're choosing it. You can hold your thoughts captive. You can absolutely hold your thoughts captive. Why do you think some people just shoot past things and are able to overcome those limiting beliefs and those mindset issues? Because they hold those thoughts captive. And what do I mean when I say they hold them captive? Well, first of all, they recognize them. Hello? Yes, this is real. I'm doing it. They acknowledge that they're doing it to themselves. They acknowledge that it's really a lie. That's the thing. We don't. We want to, a lot of this is bound in the fact that we want an excuse to not have to do something. We want an excuse and a reason to not be responsible, to not be culpable in our own failures or in our own lack of success. We justify where we are. We justify the status quo as okay because we don't want to actually put in the work. And when we face the lies that we're telling ourselves, we have to face the fact that, okay, I'm doing this because I just really didn't want to put in the work. And then when you face the fact that, okay, I didn't want to put in the work, now, what would it look like if I did? Am I making this bigger than it actually needs to be? What am I doing? So your mindset, your ability to be successful in anything, in your business, in your health adventure, in your relationships, in anything, to be successful in anything, in whatever way you define success. I am not saying that this is about money or things or possessions. I'm saying about being successful, the person that you want to be. You become the person that you want to be, whether you intentionally do it or unintentionally do it. But it all stems in what we're telling ourselves, what we're allowing our mind to speak, what we're allowing to hold captive, what we're allowing ourselves to hold captive, to be held captive by, or what we're holding captive in our brains. So when you hear those thoughts, single out one at a time. Like literally single out one at a time. This person's thought was, I just can't give up sugar. That was that person's thought. Well, yes, they can. Absolutely. It's actually pretty darn easy. It's really easy. You just don't eat sugar, period. If you start thinking about, it sounds easy. It is. It's easy. It's the battle over the mind that's hard. It's the battle over what the mind does, but you have to learn to hold it captive and learn how to redirect it. You want more leads in real estate and you know that you need to do something. Stop focusing on all the other things that you don't need to do. Stop focusing on, do I have a creative enough mailer piece? How am I standing out, doing name branding or exposure? I should be doing door knocking I should be going door to door instead of actually mailing this. Stop focusing on that. Stop focusing on the perfect CRM. Stop focusing on the perfect website. Stop all of those. Get it together and go, okay, what do I need to do a lead? Well, if I'm going to do online lead generation, I need an ad, I need a landing page, and I need an email list. Those are the three things I absolutely need. Now you're going to need a way, you have to put those together. Stop saying that I'm not techie. That's a lie. You know why it's a lie? Because there's not a person on this planet that's born techie. No one's born techie. And don't believe the lie that these young people these days, they know all the tech. No, they don't. I have 4 boys. They're all young peoples. They don't know all the tech. Just because somebody knows how to use Snapchat does not mean they know tech. Nobody's born techie. That's another lie that we tell ourselves. I don't have time. Another lie that we tell ourselves. Yes, you do. You have time. You're choosing to use your time in different ways. Most of it is unintentionally. In fact, one of the things that really, really, really popped out to me, I was reading a book called Fervent by Priscilla Shirer. When we say we don't have time, here's what's really happening. Focus protects your goals and dreams from being consumed in small bits, stolen right out from under your nose in 20-minute segments of compromise. When we say we don't have time to do something, number one, we're either just lying to someone else because we don't want to do it. So just tell them, no, thank you. Don't give them a reason. Or 2, we're lying to ourselves that we don't have time when yes, we do, because we're wasting time. We are watching TV or TV shows. I guarantee you that most of you, 99.9% of you, know exactly what's on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Friday nights on TV. I have no picking idea what's on. Now, that is not, it's not I'm better than you or less than you. That has nothing to do with it. I have made the choice that, guess what? TV is just not worth my time or energy. It's not. It does not help me relax. It does not help me zone out. No, I don't want to be like mind-numbingly fed something. I'm not interested. I would rather do other things. I'd rather play a game with my son. I'd rather go for a walk with my other son. I'd rather spend time with a friend. I'd rather do those than TV. So I've chosen how I'm going to allocate my time in that matter. I still find myself wasting time on Facebook and Instagram. So that's my, guys, I don't have the TV thing, but here's the thing. If you're not intentional, if you are not intentional, you will keep lying to yourself. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you grab your phone? Yeah, you shouldn't be grabbing your phone because you're wasting time. You're wasting time. And you're lying to yourself that I'm helping myself wake up. No. Or I just need to check to see what's going on for the day. No, you don't. You don't need to be on there. One of my goals the last 2 or 3 days has been to not allow myself to actually get into my phone until after my entire morning routine is done. So I was able to get halfway there yesterday. I started it yesterday. And I was able to get halfway there today. So in other words, I got my morning routine down until I sat down right before I did my, I do Bible study in the morning. So I did everything up to Bible study, then I got on the phone. I actually want to wait to get on the phone until after that. That's kind of my reward for going through and doing everything. But I failed 2 mornings in a row. However, I could see that the other way, that, okay, I got halfway there 2 mornings in a row. I'm tired of frittering my time away in 20-second increments that don't matter. It just doesn't matter. So I have to stop lying to myself. I have to stop lying to myself that this is okay, that this is justified. It's not. I want more out of life than to stare at my phone screen. I do. I want more out of life than to just be looking at somebody else's pictures or their Facebook. I want more out of that. I want to be living a life, not watching life passively go by. That's me. That's my own personal thing. And so I've really started holding myself captive to the thoughts. Sometimes it's just a habit. So I'm really, what's the thought that's, I'm trying to catch that and not pick up the phone. So the key here is you got to stop lying to yourself. You have to stop telling yourself that you can't. You have to stop telling yourself that it's not possible, because it is. Other people are doing it. Other people in more dire straits than you are doing it. So that's a lie. Got to recognize the lies that we tell to ourselves. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. Lying to ourselves is more deeply ingrained than lying to others. It kind of stinks. We're willing to lie to ourselves, but maybe not others in some things. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know if you're willing to do this. Would you share with me one lie that you are telling yourselves, like that you're recognized? Will you share that in the comments below? I shared you mine, that I keep justifying time on the phone in the mornings. Would you share with me one of your lies? I'm asking because a lot of times seeing what somebody else's lie is to themselves helps me recognize one in myself that I didn't recognize before. And I love that. So if you guys would be willing to share that, that would be great. Thank you so much and have a fabulous day.